I can't figure out how to make a thumbnail that is wide. Anyway, I'm trying to organize the camera so it's not putting me too far in. Yeah, that's better. And now I have to go and find my channel on YouTube so that I can watch my own show, watch my own live with you guys. Oh, now I turn her down. I'm getting there. So I'm on live chat. Says no one's here. I'm all set up, all organized, way ahead of all the people that are coming to see. We're not going to be. In fact, there's nobody yet. I can have a bit of coffee while I'm waiting for it to get set up. I don't even know if anybody will come, but usually a few people come. Maybe as much as 30, something like that. 4 people in there. Sunseeker. Hi, Sunseeker. Where are you? I watched your video until... Don't let me give you a bad time. Sunseeker says that wasn't my video, but I'm in Utah. Gee, I don't know what I thought it was your video, but you drove from, at least the last video I saw, you were leaving Quebec, going to the border. And then I thought I saw one that said you drove for 12 hours, which would get you to Utah. So somebody there, I was helping Jasper work on his installing the stovepipe for his, what do you call it? It's a fireplace. I can't remember the name of it. Wood stove fireplace. And, it's a beautiful fireplace, and it's going to keep his truck really awesome. But it got sunny, so we decided we'd work on the chimney, and got most of it done before it started raining on him. He was up on the roof there in the rain. I kept warm. So who else is here? Mike Brown. I took my glasses off. Mike Brown is asking me how it's going. I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm leaving. Today's Wednesday, and hopefully my granddaughter's born in the next couple of days, so that I can, because I have to leave. I have to drive close to the border on Sunday for a photo shoot, and I figure if I'm close to the border, I might as well just carry on. But I'm not really sure whether or not I'm going to have a granddaughter by then, which means if I don't, then I'll have to hang around till that happens. But basically, I'm supposed to leave town on the 20th or the 21st, which is Sunday or Monday. And then I drive a very short distance. Probably not much more than length of Washington in the first week, just onto the Oregon coast. Oh, it's the Sunseeker. Oh, no, Sunseeker. It's the Sunseeker bus I'm thinking of. That's who I'm mixing you up with. Yeah, there's the other guy drives a bus called Sunseeker. You're not the same person, I hope. I'm not sure if you're the same person, but that's who I was mixing you up with. That's why it is. So Sunseeker said he recently came through Canada, but it was Yukon and BC. Mike's saying I'm buffering, which I know I am. Coach CJ, hey there, how you doing? Thanks for coming around and visiting my live chat. I should be able to do quite a few of these on the way down the coast. Every time I get to a city and I've got good service, I'm going to start doing these, because they're kind of a good update for where I'm at, no matter what the situation's like. Congratulations. Yeah, Donna, thank you. I've only got one. In my family, there was only, between my 3 brothers and I, there was only one that had a daughter. Everybody else had sons. And then, actually my brother had a daughter, but that was like a second wife or girlfriend or something. So But we've had like almost all boys in my family, so it's neat to have a little girl. And Donna, my sister's name was Donna too. Roy and Becky's Travel says, howdy, howdy. Um, oh, your Sunseeker's bus is Sundog. And then there's another guy that has a bus called the Sunseeker bus. That's what it is. That's why I'm getting confused. I'm lucky because there aren't any Gus's in the buses. There's only one Gus in a bus. And it's kind of, the other day I went into Starbucks here and these girls were joking about, oh, I've got to buy stickers, before you leave. And so I was in there delivering stickers to all the girls in Starbucks the other day. I'm kind of laugh at the around the area that I hang out in so much. A lot of people see the bus, and then they see me and they go, "Oh, you're Gus in the bus, eh?" It's kind of like I'm a celebrity or something. Hey, Mike, thanks a lot. Fuel for the next kilometer. That's all. $5 will get me what? A kilometer. No, it actually $5 is about a gallon, and that would get me 10 miles. But when you don't have fuel and you can make it another 10 miles, how important that is. Anyway, thanks, Mike. Starbucks is my favorite place to steal Wi-Fi because it's usually pretty consistent. There's other places, and I can go and get a coffee. I mean, it's nice to have a coffee while I'm doing this. We should call it Coffee with Gus. In fact, I should come up with my own brand, Gus's Coffee. That would be kind of fun. I should get my own, brand my own coffee and sell it to my subscribers and stuff. You guys, if I picked a good coffee, would you guys buy it? If I got some really good ground stuff from one of these companies here in the city, the best coffee company I can find in the city, if I bought that, would you guys be buying packages of coffee from me? I'm laughing at that because everybody would say, yeah, but one person would buy it and I'd have 50 pounds of coffee in the back. I better not do it until I get across the border, because if I take a bunch of coffee across the border, they'll be giving me a bad time just because, it looks suspicious. Roy and Becky come over here and advertise my channel all the time, or advertise their channel all the time. They come in and make comments about what they're doing rather than say, hey, I don't know why that is. I go into other people's channels and I try to include myself in the conversation and stuff and not just advertise. It's called spam. Roy and Becky, it's called spam. Donna Hoffman, I have five granddaughters and 4 grandsons. Holy crap. Jeez. I hope you got a lot of kids. I hope you had a lot of kids. I've got 2 sons, actually, and that was all I wanted because, first of all, kids are expensive, and since I divorced my wife when they were pretty young, they were really expensive. That's why I'm in a bus instead of owning a catamaran. I gotta tell you guys, if you're married and you have kids, stay married. For sure, stay married. It never gets better. So what the hell? There's no point, and you might as well just hang out there with someone you hate. It's a lot cheaper, I tell you. It depends on the price of the coffee. Yeah, my coffee would. The thing is, you can't buy good coffee for cheap, so you can't sell good coffee for cheap. So yeah, the price of a pound of coffee is. If I found good coffee, I don't buy. Listen, first of all, I don't buy good coffee. I go to Starbucks, but if I was to buy a good brand of coffee, um, it wouldn't really help me any. I wake up in the morning and I don't care I don't care what I put in as long as it's got a bit of a coffee flavor to it. In fact, I could leave this till tomorrow morning and then just heat it up again. I'm not very fussy, but I know good coffee. Mike Brown says he's married to himself, and that's the smart thing, Mike. That is the smartest way to go. I'm kind of joking. I was married for 17 years. There was no real problem with it. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. The only thing that caused any problem was that I decided not to be there anymore, and that cost me an arm and a leg, as well as sort of demotivated me in terms of making more money. It just seemed pointless because it didn't seem to matter what I did, the family was going to be poor between the government and all this kind of crap and lawyers and things. It's just nuts. Yeah, Roy and Becky, that's awesome. 24 years. I almost made it there. I did 17 years with the same woman. And, I got to tell you something. I actually know now what I didn't know then. When I photograph a person, and it doesn't even have to be a woman, when I photograph somebody, I do my best to make sure they feel confident and comfortable, capable, attractive. I do the best I can to make them look as good as I can, and to make sure they understand that they are, cared for and basically loved. Well, I didn't do that with my wife, and I didn't do that with many of my girlfriends. I didn't spend 2 hours on them, Jeff, if you understand what I mean. I didn't spend 2 hours focused on making sure they understood I cared a lot about them. So if my wife and I had done that, we would never have had any issues. But we didn't do that, and I didn't do that with any other girl either. So although I looked like a good partner, I was not a good partner, meaning I didn't spend enough time. I took the relationships for granted and didn't spend enough time on the relationships. And I bet Becky and where are they? What's their names? I bet they would agree. If they've been together for Roy and Becky, it's probably true, isn't it, that if you spend, if you intentionally spend time to make sure that, make sure you're communicating and make sure you're communicating the truth and not just having fights and stuff, but actually spend time making sure you basically love your partner, even if it's like 2 hours a week. If that's all you did, I think every relationship would stay together. I'm married to myself, yeah. Same here, Mike Brown. And Sunseeker says, hey Gus, is that a stovepipe? No, this back here is a light. It's a big, what do you call it? Swirly fluorescent light. It's a 300 watt fluorescent light. And I just got tired of finding a place to store it, so I just, what do you call it? Added tape here, what do you call that? Duct taped it to the pole. I've basically got kind of a stripper pole here for people to hold on to. My friends call it a stripper pole, but it can't be used for that. It's too small a space. Viking Van Man, thank you very much. No, I haven't left to go down south. I'm still in Vancouver until my granddaughter's born, and after I have a photo shoot on Sunday. Hopefully my granddaughter will be born before then, and I can just take off after my photo shoot and start heading down south. I'm in downtown Vancouver, and the photo shoot is like 90% of the way towards the border, so it's a perfect time to leave. Only issue, do you listen? Okay, not all the voices in my head tell me I'm fine. Coach, nobody's voice tells them they're fine. Most people have a voice in their head that says, "You're crap, look at that ugly guy in the mirror." Most people's voices are most of the time, they're just beating themselves up. And if you can learn to turn that voice off, or turn it down, or change the narrative that it gives you, life gets really easy. I'm actually pretty good at turning off that little voice in the back there. But he shows up like everyone else. Donna Hoffman says, we do family adventures for Christmas gifts. That's a good idea. Hey, by the way, you can send me a ticket to Hawaii. I'm just kidding. Hey, I saw you when you were sitting in your bus in Penticton at Peach Fest. That's how I found out about your channel. Oh, cool. LVX. I love Penticton. It is absolutely, I would recommend anybody, especially van dwellers, people that live like me, live in their vehicle. I would recommend Penticton as the ultimate spot in BC. There's, I don't know how far it is, 7 miles or something from one lake to another. And you basically can watch a sunrise on one lake and a sunset on the other one. Both of them are warm and you can swim in them. There's no pay parking. I mean, you can park right on the beach by the boardwalk in Penticton, and lots of people go. When I parked there, lots of people went by and said hi. LVX, did you say hi, or did you just sort of plug it into the phone and find out about me later? Sometimes, obviously, people don't have time to come and talk to you all the time, and sometimes they think they're interrupting something. But I had more fun in Penticton than any other city this year. Anywhere, including all the California places, any place at all. Penticton was, first of all, it's amongst the most beautiful and comfortable places to be. And then the people seem to be really incredibly friendly, unless they were all tourists that were friendly with me. I'm not sure. A very rich one. I eat a lot. Okay, that's Coach CJ. Haha. Okay, Mike Brent. You guys are getting way ahead of me here. Van Life with Gina Payne. Hey Gus, I enjoyed your videos. Keep it up, my friend. Well, Gina, where are you from? You from? I'm looking for people that live down the West Coast. People I can meet up with and chat with and stuff like that. I'm heading down to California in a couple of days. Coach Jay, that's very true. I've been doing that more and more. Yeah, like everybody should learn how to deal with that thing that's up there. That sort of, I call it a subconscious. If you learn to communicate with your subconscious, you can actually, there's nothing you can't accomplish after you've done that. There's absolutely nothing. Because it's the subconscious that's telling us, oh, we can't go out, like I can't go outside because it's raining. Well, I can turn that off anytime I want to go outside. That's not all that difficult. But the people, for example, who are talking about, oh, I'm gonna save up my money and I'm gonna buy a van and I'm going to convert it. So about 10 years from now, I'm gonna go camping. Well, I'm not going to swear, but the word starts with F. Go camping. Rent a car and go camping. It doesn't make any sense to put it off to like a long time from now. Just do it now on the weekends. And you'll soon find that it's either something you really love and it's something you can do right away. You can just rent I think they're like an Econoline van rents for $19 a day, plus insurance, whatever that might be. Now I've got a bus, and because I have insurance, or if I had a car and I have insurance, I don't have to pay that insurance. So I'd be renting a vehicle for $19 a day, and if I don't drive too far, I could go away for the weekend for like $80. There's no need to wait a whole bunch of years to go camping and figure out what it's like and to learn how to do this. In fact, you can rent the vehicle. Somebody I told the other day, just go to the end of the block and sleep in your vehicle. Just go to the end of the block. Try to sleep in the vehicle, and if you can't, drive home before you, I'll probably you'll be able to stay the whole night in it. And then do it again another night, and then go a block and a half or 2 blocks. Like there's nothing, absolutely nothing to be afraid of, but you can't find out about it until you take the tiny little step. It's like I keep telling people, honestly, I've told people I can jump off a cliff, and I do this all the time. I can jump off a cliff any day. And then I walk over to the curb and jump off a 6-inch cliff. You know what I mean? All you do is mitigate the damages, or make sure that the step you're taking is not so big it's going to kill you. And then life is easy. And if you step off the curb, you can always step back. It never hurts to try something, to take that first step. LVX says, you seem like a nice guy. Keep up the good videos, man. Huh, cool. Also, do you go live a lot on YouTube? Once a week I try to. And I try to do it only once a week. And especially now, I don't, maybe when on the way down the coast, I'll go live a couple of times a week. But normally it's just once a week. It was sort of on Sunday, and frequently I go through weeks where I don't do it. So I don't know. It kind of, if I'm near Wi-Fi, I'm not in a hurry to go and do something, and it's like 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock, then I'm going to go live because it's a good time to do it. Oh, Van Life of Cheetah, you're in Southern Oregon. I think you should send me a note. You guys can find me on Instagram and under Gus and the Bus, by the way. And then you could send me a note, or there's an email in my description on every video, except for, like, the lives don't have it but any previous video has it. Then you can send me an email or get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram, any of those ways. And I want to meet my viewers. It's as simple as that. I like meeting the people, and I might as well, like the first year I went down, I had only 44 subscribers and only 16 people looking at them. And one person asked me to meet them in Long Beach for breakfast. So we met up in Long Beach and had a breakfast, and then I carried on. Sunseeker, I'm planning to be in Arizona and Southern California beginning January. Will you be around TV? I don't know what TV is here at that time. I'm going to be at the RTR in January, wherever that is. I might go to Arizona, but I don't know why. Like I guess I'm different from most of the people. Like Arizona is a favorite place for people to go because the weather's pretty good, I say, because it's basically quite hot in the day. It gets hot. At night it gets a little bit chilly. And I guess depending on the altitude you're at, it can get much colder. But I don't see the fuel is cheaper in Arizona. But when I went to the RTR, fuel was cheaper, but food was incredibly expensive. I just about went broke because I was in that area too long. I couldn't find a place to provide food at a reasonable price. And if I go next time, I'm going to actually take a lot of food with me and maybe plan to eat those little 50-cent, what are they called, Chinese noodle things? Because, it got, last time I ran out of money because of the food costs. So Arizona isn't any, and it's not prettier than the beach in California. So I don't know. I was always eating for less in California than I was in Arizona. So I don't know why people want to go to Arizona, except that there's a lot of BLM land and they can stay in one place and not be harassed because they're there for like 14 days. But I can park on the street here, like if I was in California, I'd be able to sleep at this Starbucks and go down the street to another one down the street, a short distance. It wouldn't hurt at all. Anyway, enough of that. I'm getting way behind on the oh, Steel Tent Adventures. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's awesome. Oh, that's for food. Well, I need food, and but more than anything else, I need fuel. To get down there and come back is $1,000, which means that I have to put aside essentially $100 a month just for my trip to California and back. And I have to come back because I can't be out of Canada more than 6 months. And although if I had the money, I'd go all the way around the coast, like down to California, down through Texas, down into Florida, and then back up the East Coast, and then drive across Canada. So I would do a total circumnavigation, in a sense, of basically of North America. And except I have to be back here in 6 months, and I don't have the money to do that whole trip. So gas is what I'm always thinking of, but I'm going to buy myself a good meal with that. Thank you. Trying to figure out who's here. Okay, oh yeah, Sunseeker. Make sure you keep in touch with me. Send me a note that let you know anytime that you see any. I'm definitely going to Southern California because I go to Venice Beach, and then I don't know where I'm going to go after that. But I'd love to meet somebody at like someplace near Joshua Tree or something like that. Like go and meet somebody in a nice place and hang out for a couple of days. That'd be cool. Damn spell check. Oh yeah, TV is not. I got spell check kills my messages. I sometimes have to apologize to people because instead of saying, "Well, you were beautiful," it's like it ends up like you're a bumbling idiot, or something like that. So even though I might try to be saying something nice, I've actually said it's turned it into an incredible insult. And then I got to go, oh, it's spell check. That doesn't sound honest to say it was spell check. That's the problem. John Chucker from Waterbury, Connecticut. How are you doing today? You are correct. You're sleeping your thing at the end of a quarter and some. I'm not figuring it out. Maybe you're talking to someone else. That's the only that I want stickers. PayPal. But yeah, Mike, you got your stickers, didn't you? Oh, he's saying if you want stickers, you just PayPal me $10. Yeah, that's actually I've still got lots of stickers. I'm not running out of them. I'm thinking of putting them on the side of my bus in a little sort of mailbox thing, and then putting a little donation box beside it just for fun. But that gets me to that way I can get rid of more stickers. I've got a message held for review from Mike because he gave you my email address. Isn't that silly of YouTube, eh? To have a message held for review when I should make. How do you make Mike a wrench? Put in hide user channel. Add moderator. Mike Brown's a moderator. Give him a wrench. Anybody else want a wrench? I hope, Mike, you can tell me one day whether having a wrench is actually a job or not. On my page, I don't think it is because there's not much interaction going on. But on some people's, there would be a lot. Donna Hoffman, eating out can get expensive. Yeah, well, I I eat out at times, but what's actually happening when I do eat out, I'm how would I put it? I'm in other words, when I go shopping, I might spend $10 and it might last for 2 meals. If I go to the kind of restaurant I go to, it's $10, and I'm I'm sometimes do that instead of eating the 2 meals. Today I made some lunch for Jasper and I. I found some chicken breasts that were really inexpensive, or they were like, because they're close to their due date, they were like 30% off. So I think I spent $8, and Jasper and I had a beautiful lunch. Coach CJ says he's looking through the photo shoot pics on Instagram. I need to sit on one of those. Well, what happened? People don't often. People have asked me about um, how to do what I do, especially guys. They go, "Oh, that one looks like fun. That looks like fun." But I bought a camera, and then I spent 6 months shooting trees and dogs and birds and flowers, just stuff. And then I decided in October, about this time, the end of October, because it's raining and ugly and the leaves had fallen off the trees, there wasn't so much fun going out taking pictures. I thought, well, I'm going to do some headshots. And then after doing about 100 headshots, 100 people, which happened over a couple of months because I had given them a relatively cheap price, and I lucked out meeting a girl who was organizing the drama department at UBC. So anyway, I shot 100 headshots, and then a few of them got a hold of me and said, "Could I come over in my lingerie?" And I went, "Sure." And then the fitness girls wanted some photos, and then the winners of the contests who were fitness models wanted some photos, and then I became this guy who shoots fitness girls on the beach. But I started out wanting to just try doing headshots, and actually wanting to just take pictures of dogs or seagulls. The funny thing is that our photographers' clients put them into a sort of a niche, and you know mine just happened to end up to be these girls on the beaches. So that's one of the reasons I travel on the beach. I get to continue that more easily in cities like Vancouver and Los Angeles and stuff. Roy and Becky, you're talking about the trip right around the coast? I mean, right around North America? That'd be fun. Be fun to have kind of a small caravan of people, and then you can kind of branch. You can be going up down the road, and somebody go to that town, somebody go to that one, and kind of get to, we would all learn from each other and be stimulated by each other's experiences, because we could just go off a little bit on our own and then come back, and some of us would then be able to go to where the other person was, or meet them. You get on the phone and say, "Hey, you got to come here. There's an incredible waterfall over here." Stuff like that. That would be cool. I'm looking through your oh yeah, that we did that. Roy and Becky, we're gonna love Roy and Becky's travels. Nice. Coach CJ, Mike Brown is the man. Who somewhere there's a Yeah, thanks Mike for the oh, it's a polished wrench. Like your wrench is silver and shiny. That's cool. Anyway, does that make you? We'll find out next time I do live. If you come in, Mike, we'll find out whether the wrench stays there forever or not. That'll be cool. I'm just learning this YouTube stuff. There goes this John Chalker from Connecticut was saying we're right about what you said. What you said on trying out van life by just talk. Yeah, people don't. They get in their head and they start churning around how difficult it is. instead of just kind of going, okay, so how easy is it? It's so easy, it's ridiculous. And in my case, I've been camping before. And in fact, my father-in-law had a bus, but we didn't ever sleep in it. Well, I think I might have slept in it one night, but we traveled in it. And I had a Volkswagen van when I was younger, and you know, I don't know. Like my own experience has included all of that in the past, all of this in the past. So when I bought a bus, first thing I did is sleep in it. And then I thought, well, if I enjoy sleeping in it, it's all I have to enjoy. That's the only drawback for me, because I've been driving cars. I parked on the side of the road. I've gotten tickets before. Police people have pulled me over in my car. I mean, there's nothing new about a bus. All those things, if you've driven a car and you've done all these things, then driving my bus is going to be the same as driving a car. And if I park it in the wrong spot, I'm going to get a ticket. So I'm not, what I'm getting at is there's nothing new if I've been driving. So, wow, we're getting a lot of stuff here. Focus Ministries, thanks, Mike. Okay. The traveling art guy, hi Gus, hi traveling art guy. When are you going to be traveling out my way? Roy and Becky's travels, that would be cool, yeah. Donna Hoffman, interesting story about your photo history. Yeah, people don't, they actually think that I decided one day I'm going to shoot photos of beautiful girls on the beach. Girls who have worked out in the gym for a year, that went to a makeup artist to get their makeup on and just had their hair done and got a tan and then bought some bikinis. I'm going to shoot girls like that. Well, no, it doesn't happen. You don't just start out with a plan, and nor should you. You should be, if somebody was a photographer, they should be shooting the things that they love. If they bought automobile magazines, they should be shooting cars, because they're constantly seeing that, professional images of automobiles. So they should be really good at shooting pictures of automobiles. Now, the only thing that made me, I guess, kind of good about it, and good at what I do, is that I'm very, very particular about a woman's looks. Not because I'm necessarily particular, but because I kind of understand their perspective. So, everybody's a little insecure, and so I learned how to create images that kind of avoided their insecurity. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I would make them look attractive while either avoiding their insecurity or enhancing their insecurity, so they were no longer insecure about it. No, that's actually a lot of work, but it's more than simply standing there and taking a picture. That's the thing. It's way more than that. I've ran into roadblocks in my city because I have to have a physical address for your driver's license. I may just have a friend save money and use theirs. Coach CJ, I have a box number. I did not drive for from 45 to 65. What's that? 20 years. I let my driver's license lapse and I didn't need it, so I did not drive. So when I retired, I decided I'm going to be buying a bus or something. So I went and got I didn't get my driver's license until a week or two before I bought my bus. So I went to get my driver's license. They went, where do you live? I used a box number, a mailbox number. And I call it Suite 409. That is also on my, my passport. It's on my driver's license. It's on my medical card. It's on every card I have. And so no one asks if it's a mailbox. So I don't know when people say that, I don't know where you live. I live in a like free country. I can understand if I was in a non-free country where there was no freedom, then I would be having trouble. But there are thousands of people in the United States that are driving around in a vehicle and don't have a permanent address. So they've got a driver's license. In fact, I think if you were to look up nomadic driver's license on YouTube, somewhere somebody will say the best state to get the driver's license is Arizona or, Wisconsin or something. The best place to get your driver's license, and they'll tell you why and give you a whole bunch of ways to get a driver's license. So you've got something in your head there, Coach. You got to get that out of your head. Just do a little research. You'll be able to find out how to do that. And you don't have to give a friend money, but I give the post, the UPS box. I don't know if you're familiar with my friend Chrome, but he belongs to, or he's got a street address about 6 blocks from mine, and the same company owns both of those UPS box stores. So he and I are figured out the same thing, and my other friend Jasper has another one. We all figured out the same thing without ever being told. We just went, okay, I'm going to do it that way. What have we got? Steel Tent Adventures. Hey there. Just got out and do it, or just go out and do it. Take it as it comes, and don't worry because it'll cripple you. That's exactly the point. That the other day, it's Thanksgiving in Canada. I'm going to be 70 on the 25th of November. So I'm basically a month away from being 70. My dad died of a heart attack when he was 50. Just simply died. And when I was 45, or when I was 20, I was about 20 when he died. So I decided I should live my life so I can retire at 45. Well, strangely, I kind of did retire from trying to make a lot of money when I was 45. And so, since I retired from trying to make a lot of money, in other words, since I became poor, I had nothing to lose. I had no more stress, no more fear, and nothing to lose. But before that, I was making a huge amount of money. I was the vice president of a company, and I had a lot to lose, I thought. So I was going to kill myself. I would have died at some earlier age if I didn't learn how to relax. Anyway, if I didn't move into this bus, my body's younger, my mind's younger. Trying to cough. Anyway, my mind is younger, my body's younger. I'm healthier. I'm eating healthier food. I'm sleeping better hours. Everything in my life is healthier, and all I did is buy a bus and move into it. And so when people are telling me, well, I can't go because I'm a diabetic, well, that's not a good enough, that's just bullshit reason. The things that you need to do, the problem with somebody, for example, let's say diabetes, I'm sort of borderline. So if I was to eat a lot of sugar or eat too many potatoes type of thing, things that turn to sugar, starches, then I would be a diabetic. But I moderate that, and I manage to avoid doing that. And I don't drink pop, and I don't drink sweet drinks, and I don't eat chocolate or cookies or candy. So I managed to, stay balanced without without becoming a diabetic. But the doctors have told me, you should take these pills, those pills, and I just said, if I don't have pills and I just ate different food, wouldn't that help me? And he went, yeah, if you ate the right food, you wouldn't have a problem. So instead of taking the pills, I try to eat the right food, and I managed to be balanced. But the point is that, if you don't, it doesn't matter what age you are. I'm nearly 70, and I'm going to pack it in 5 or 8 years at the most. So I'm living my life as best I can until that happens. But I could have, the only reason I put it off is that couldn't get internet in my truck. Now I can get internet everywhere in the world, everywhere I drive. So internet's not a problem. And solar panels came along, and so now I can put solar panels on there, and I got power. So there's nothing holding anybody back. The power, and I got a porta potty to poo in if I want to. So there's nothing that holds anybody back. Nothing whatsoever. And if you are living a life like I did, which is like watching TV or something on a couch, because I wasn't active enough. If you're living a life where you're not active enough, your mind is sort of just sitting there mindlessly watching TV or something. If you do this, you'll discover that you're now working your mind, you're now working your body, and both of them are going to get healthier. And that's why I talked about health being the most important thing. If you're going to live the last 5 years of your life, would you rather live them having a lot of fun or killing yourself? Killing yourself by lying around and being inactive, etc. This is cool. I like the light. I should do a video about go out in your bus and go out in the dark, and then use the actual phone to light your face. Thanks a lot there. I'm getting these super chats, and I just start chatting, and I'm not thanking people. Traveling art guy, thanks a lot for the gas. That's the gas. I want to make sure I didn't miss someone else. No, that's good. I need gas. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Coach CJ, thanks, and Tracy, if Michigan. When you guys talk to each other, I got to figure out when you're talking to me or talking to each other. Well, I'm copped now, so have to. Oh, Mike Brown, yeah. Mike, are you still doing those lives? You should actually try and do what do you call it? Not necessarily a news about other YouTubers, but hey, Chrome made a great video, and you know what I'm saying? I'm picking on something, Chrome, but Chrome made a great video, and but you should check out the bridge that he went over or something, like commentary, but it doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive commentary about, hey, I don't know who, this Sunseekers went to Miami, and this is what they saw down there. So you're watching a lot of YouTubers, so might be a good idea for you to just make a commentary about them. You don't even have to have, copy the YouTube that they're doing. Like some guys, they play the actual YouTube video. You can just say, go see this guy, go see this guy, go see this guy. So-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that. Do it quick, 5 minutes, bang. Then you just post that. A lot of people would just watch it. I'm sure. And because you're knowledgeable about it, your opinion of what they're doing and their videos would be important to people. Tracy Lucy, trust me, I don't choose. I didn't choose this. Married a Navy guy, and then poof, I'm stuck. Well, if you married a Navy guy, you probably didn't want him around anyway, because he was going to be gone in the Navy, right? Donna, Chrome is the best, and that's how you found Gus. Well, Chrome and I are good buddies, and you probably all should know why. When we get together, we are both pretty positive people. Neither of us have anything to complain about. We have a really good conversations for like 10 minutes, and then we go do our own thing, and then he pops out of the truck because he's done his edits or something, comes over and talks for a while. We just get back and forth together. We're not like, if we were traveling together, we probably wouldn't. He'd be on that side of town, I'd be on this side of town. and then we'd kind of maybe meet on the highway and somewhere. But we're very independent, but we really love to spend time together. I might be able to convince them to go down to California this year. A sailor and his dog. Talk about somebody I met Sailor and his dog on the beach in Malibu. Not on the beach, but we were both parked on the beach in Malibu. And he just left Newport News. You mean Newport? Driving through Canada. Oh, I think you're up in Canada now, aren't you? Who's that? Says we love. Oh, Tracy, Lucy. You know, it kind of makes me laugh. I get when you say we love you, Gus. I don't know if you ever saw my video from Penticton. There were some young girls. They were about teenagers, and they went, "Oh, could I be on YouTube?" You know, and I went, "Sure. What do you do?" And they went, "I don't know." I said, "Can you sing or dance?" And they went, "Okay, we're gonna sing and dance." So they sang and danced for a minute, and then I said, "Okay, now you got to say." We love you, Gus and the bus. And so they were going like this and stuff. It was fun. Anyway, so when people say they love Gus and the bus, that's what I think of these two young girls sort of having fun together with that. A seasonal job at Bass Pro Shop in the camping department today. Discount on van life stuff. Oh, awesome. Coach, that sounds great. You say your name is Coach. Are you a coach? Like a football coach or some kind of coach? Dear God, or this is John Chalker. Man, you keep saying, John Chalker, you keep saying this is John Chalker from Waterbury, Connecticut. That's got to be copied so that you can paste that in and then you say, I think you're really cool. I think that... your channel is cool. You give some great advice. Well, I'm not actually here to give advice. I kind of, how would I put it? I don't think of myself as like a guru of sorts about anything. There's so many ways to do stuff. There's no right way, no wrong way. And yet people are... The questions I get are always about the dumb detail. And when I say dumb details, they're about the details. Like how many miles to the gallon do you get? Well, put in Ford Econoline mileage in Google, and that'll give you the answer. So almost all of the questions I get are like that. They're not really looking for advice. They're kind of like, I'm always thinking, well, why not use Google instead of ask me? That's different in person, right? If you meet somebody on the street, you definitely would ask me how much mileage I get, because that's kind of part of the process of getting to know each other. You're right, brother. That's why I'm buying a bus to travel. This is Chef Santa. A bus to travel. I don't know how long I've been trapped in my apartment for the last 2 years. After the first of the year, I can go on the road. I mean, my bus had a chairlift in it. You know, you could be in a wheelchair and own this bus and have a home in this bus. You could have bought the bus. When you wanted to get in, you'd lower the chairlift. It'll pick up you and your chairlift. You can get in, you can come up, wheel the chairlift up here, put yourself in the driver's seat and drive away. There might have to be some controls, obviously, some different set of controls, like for if you were paralyzed and couldn't push the pedals. But if you're able to drive an automatic vehicle, you could drive this bus. If you owned a wheelchair, you could live in it. You could put your propane near so it's easily accessed, so you can load up with fuel just by driving into the gas station. Well, I don't know what's happened. I'm seeing messages up there, or notifications anyway. Well, now I've got this back. Now I got it back. I might as well start at the bottom here. John Chalker, dear Gus, this is a Oh, John Chucker from internet. Uh, I'm not. I'm not going to memorize it, John. I'm never going to memorize that whole list of stuff from Connecticut. That's my personal reason why I use a personal tag, is because some people know that it's me and nobody else, and I really think you're good. Awesome. I think you guys are good. Most of the people that I have ever met that are watching YouTube, or just the communication I have with the people on YouTube, most of the people are really nice and really fun. The Guru Posse. Donna, are you still here? So who's here now? It says the top number of people, the top chat has been 11 people. It's kind of funny when I am one of the, this is might sound kind of dumb. I'm not getting down about it, but I have a lot of, there's a number of YouTubers that were about the same size as me when I started, and started up more or less the same as me. They all have way more followers, way more subscribers than I do. I don't know. I have no idea why that is. I don't attract subscribers, or maybe I chase them away. I know if I talk politics, I'll chase away an awful lot of people because I'm pretty, what do you call it? I used to be an extremely conservative person, but I started out as an extremely liberal hippie, and then I became a fascist, and then I became more liberal again. I totally understand conservative concepts and attitudes, and I totally understand the liberal concepts and attitudes. And I simply believe we should all love each other. But if you put those in political terms, that's going to turn off a whole lot of people, and I don't know why. Anyway, so if I start talking politics, I will scare away a ton. And I think I scare away lots of ladies because they go, "Oh, he shoots girls on the beach. He's a pornographer." So, got my own issues, but I don't. I sometimes wonder when I look at people who drive around in the truck and only shoot the highway from like A to B, and then talk about like their whatever it is, talk about something, and but the video itself is just driving down the highway. It'd take forever, so I could just drive down the road and talk. But I don't want to make videos like that, and I don't think that I would actually be more popular if I did it. So what's next? John Chucker writes big. Well, after you press the paste, you write a long story. A lot of wisdom, as I know you learn and you show everybody. What you want to say and do is John Chucker, your friend and loyal subscriber. That's right. What people should be doing that. Sunday night I hit the road to cross Canada, says the traveling art guy. My next show is to Halifax. So 4,500 kilometers to do, but I love it. Really, you have to go take your art 4,500 kilometers? I hope you make lots of money when you get to the show. And if you're going to be driving or that kind of mileage, come see me in Southern California. I wish I had some way of, like, I could play an instrument or something, do something that would allow me to make some money on the road, just busking, just casually make money on the road. Lindsay says, have you messed with any of the wiring above your driver's seat? I'm not sure what I need or don't need in my bus. No videos. The wiring that, like, I had some wiring up above the driver's seat and switches and everything to turn the bus lights on and off. Well, you don't need the bus lights. In fact, if you turn them on, you probably get a ticket. You can't put the bus lights up top, the on and off and stuff, and the turn signals and things. The stuff that's above you, you don't actually need. The truck runs, right? Your bus will run without all of that wiring up top. So the only thing that I am a little frustrated about is that um, I I clip the wires on the heater at the back, and the heater, I don't know how to get the heater that's at the back to run, even though I'm not sure that I need it very much. But I no longer have a heater in the back, behind the, more or less behind the back seat. So, but all the wires that relate to the bus, like the, you know what I mean, school bus stuff, you actually don't need any of them. But you don't need to take them all out unless you want to get rid of some, like make room for something. And if you're like me, I just ripped them all out, made room. Because and I haven't been, even for a moment, I have not been upset that I did that. In other words, I haven't missed anything. Now, somebody could come along one day and said, "Why did you pull the wire out?" But you know, I don't miss it. I can run another wire. It's, you know, wire's not cheap, but it's not that expensive, and it's not that big a mistake. And so if I decided, for example, that I wanted that heater to work, I've only got to buy, you know, 15 feet of wire and climb around under my bus in the dirt and crap and get things, you know, I'll get crap in my eyes and stuff, but it won't cost me much money. And it never hurt. Now I've got a buddy heater. I don't need that thing in the back. Paul Hunter, hey. Paul, I've got to meet up with you on the way to South. Maybe you can send me a note and tell me where, kind of where you are, and we can kind of plan to meet up and get a coffee or something like that. I mean, I don't want to spend the night, and I don't want you to make me dinner. But getting together for coffee would be really nice. Have one of those RTR chats. Donna Hoffman says, when I get a van and build it out, I hope to continue my massage spa business. Well, yeah, you can do that, no problem. I mean, you won't make the same amount of money unless you stay in the same place and keep the same clients. But I guarantee you, if you had a bus or a van and it said, you know, Kathy's, what would it be? What, Donna, yeah, Donna's Massage or something like that, and you just parked outside Starbucks, somebody's going to come along and say, could I have a massage? And you'd go, yeah, when? They'd say, like now or Tuesday. And you could decide whether or not you want to do that. So, but you would probably be doing strangers most of the time unless you stayed in one spot and built up a clientele. But if you don't mind strangers, you know, you'll get them. Just park. Somebody. One way of putting it is that if you build it, they will come. That's the logic. And until they start coming, until you're sure that it'll work, you can continue to do your regular clients. And you wouldn't need to, because I could do massage in here easy. I could set it up to do massage, and my clients would come in, and then you know, I would not be paying any rent for an apartment and no sort of office space rent or any of that stuff. So you really don't need to do a lot of massages. I don't know how much you charge, but like I know, you know, probably somewhere between 50 and $100. You actually would not have to do more than one massage if it was $50 or more. Just tell the Copa you're picking up YouTubers. Yeah. I want the room, not the rat nest of wiring up there. Yeah, just take the wires out. If you're not using the switches that turn things on and off, if you're not using those lights and you're not using that stuff, rip it out. Because it's not the way these things are built is that, like in my case, Ford built the front part, and they're in charge of making the motor work and all your lights and the tail lights and all that kind of crap. All those controls are on the dashboard. So stuff that's on the dashboard, you leave. You don't mess around that much. But the stuff that's up there, you know, shouldn't be a problem. And if you want to, you could always take time and clip a wire and make sure you know where it went, and then what? Give it a name. Like, you know, put a piece of tape on it that you can write on. Then you can say right, left, or I mean the left front bus light, and put it on the wire. And then once you got all that, you could still rewire it if you want, but you should label them before you do that. And then make sure you, if you don't rip it right out, you need to put like some kind of tape or something on it so that it doesn't short out anywhere. So you have to cover the end of the wire. Sailor, oh, Sailor's still there. Sailor, I miss you. We have to meet up. So when you know you're going to be somewhere nearby, let me know. I hope you're coming down to California this year. Ocean Ray goes that met her in Alberta, sharing Thanksgiving with me. Awesome. I've been advised that snow will fall in November, and I would like to visit Vancouver. You want to visit, like visiting Vancouver at this time of year is not necessarily fun. It's like going to San Francisco. It's going to be raining and it's going to be cold. And all the way from Vancouver to San Francisco, it's rainy and cold. Not necessarily freezing, but it's chilly. Oh, Crazy Pete asked if I'm traveling south with anybody. I had a friend that what do you call it? We were talking, we've been talking about going down together, and we were pretty sure we were going to travel together. I haven't seen him today, but last night we weren't getting along very well, so maybe we're not traveling together. I don't know. His name is Frank, and maybe we'll be doing it, maybe not. It doesn't so much matter to me. I've been down the road twice before, and I meet people all the way. There's benefits to having another person that kind of keeps you to your promise. In other words, if we both promise to drive like a short distance every day, then each of us could keep each other to that promise. But like a lot of people, you know, you can get on the highway and just put your foot on it and then go for like 12 hours or something, and then you broke the promise, but you're already you're already past all the places that you should have stopped at. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt to go fast, but it's not my plan. I want to go very slowly. However, if I've got weather like this, and it's really hard to want to be in the rain for 2 weeks when you could have been in a sunny beach for 2 weeks. Sailor and his, yeah, thanks for the info. Glenn Schroeder, please help him make his trip south. Glenn, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Talking about Frank? Frank should, you know, Frank just has to come along. Actually, anybody who wanted to travel down that way, if they were in my path, I would just meet up with them and go down with them. And in fact, I think if I was in some places, I'd like to stop and show people how easy, like in other words, take them out for a night and show them how to park in their own town. Like, how would Gus park there? And I don't even know the town. I would have no problem. So that's always a good sign. I've already been online for, it doesn't say here, but I've already been online for a long time. It's time to say goodnight, guys. Look at this spooky thing. I can make myself into like a spooky dude or less spooky. It's also getting dark. You can barely see me now. So, guys, thanks for coming to visit me in the bus. I like to give you guys a thumbs up. You could be, like, it's true, you know, you could be doing a lot of things, and I appreciate you spend some time